I don't know if you've peeped the box office bonanza for Ant-Man and Wasp Quantumania, or the recent news of the Shazam sequel going the way of the US dollar, but in case you ain't clued in, superhero films have officially entered their Fat Elvis phase. Hell, the film in question got its ass kicked by Cocaine Bear on opening weekend, an R-rated affair boasting a budget so small they probably couldn't afford to buy a bag of Bogota nose candy. Meanwhile, Ant-Man's latest opus barely doubled its $200 million budget, which, given the stratospheric cost of Marvel movie marketing, is effectively going fucking negative. A fulfillment of Fistian prophecy for which a ton of tism was aimed my way when I initially pronounced it, but like Madonna from the Mirror Universe, oh, it's aged like fine smokehouse cheese. All together now, Razor Force, Marvel Phase 4 failed with flying colors. And before you hit back with one of the many wildly original variants of it's not superhero fatigue, it's bad movie fatigue, first the fuck off, it's cute you think those things are mutually exclusive. And second, this middle finger isn't defensive fanboy fatigue, it's shitty comment fatigue. Most of these movies were at least watchable. We just ain't going to see them. Did I miss a meeting where we all decided that genres only go away when people are tired of them and not when most of the movies suck ass through a river read? I mean, how in heathen titties do you think they become tired to begin with? Too much partying, not enough bed rest? Or do an insipid procession of indescribably dogshit movies generally initiate the fucking fatiguing process? I mean, do you think the audiences of the early 70s just spontaneously threw up their arms in unison and said, all right, we're done with Westerns? Or do you, like me, suspect it probably had something more to do with a bunch of no quality control, copyright infringed spaghetti bullshit, eager to exploit the sudden success of Django and the Dollars trilogy? Bad films in a tired genre ain't a glitch. They're a fucking feature, and the Cape Clan have had more than their fair share recently. From the unctuously astroturf Shang-Chi and the Rings of Onion, to African-American Widow, to Thor Blood and Chunder, and finally to the Eternals, a title that doubles as a description of its runtime. Really, the only faintly bright spot in this particular cinematic soiree is Spider-Man No Way Home, a movie that better have made bank considering it had more guest stars than a fucking rap song. But if anything typifies the fall of Marvel, it was 2021's Doctor Strange dud multiverse of madness, because nothing raises the narrative stakes or cultivates a sense of peril like the certain knowledge that a macrocosm of infinite realities exists where not a solitary story beat in that film even faintly fucking matters. How is it hacky writers still haven't learned this lesson? No one likes the multiverse. Stargate eats ass. Admit it. And as much as I love Spock's beard, the Mirror Universe episodes of Star Trek suck so hard they could strip the chrome off a car bumper. And I can already hear your spring-loaded rejoinders. What about Gotham by Gaslight? What about Superman Red Sun? Ultimate X-Men? Quick query. What would you consider more creative? Writing of the adventures of an all-new character in a Victorian crime caper where he does battle with the murderous wiles of Jack the Ripper? Or plopping a Brit-bong Batman into the self-same story for no other discernible reason than it sells more fucking books. On their best possible day, Elseworlds and Ultimate Marvel stories are lazier than Jim Sterling on a Stairmaster. I say this as an Elric fan. Unless your name is Michael Moorcock, first off, you have my condolences. And second, stay the back-flippin' fuck away from multiverses and alternate realities. We don't give the beginnings of a fuck what Superman's doing in Red Sun, Black Sun, or 50 Shades of Grey Sun. We care how the character's gonna entertain us all in the here and fucking now. Look, I like a good what-if story as much as the next cat, but I'd much rather have a new ninja with an eyeball deficiency skulking his way through feudal Japan than a weak-ass insert of Daredevil in a time period during which he does not exist. Cool comic and all, but if you're failing to see the connection between the inborn compulsion of American comic companies to crap an existing character into an unconventional time period, setting, or scenario, and your company's complete inability to invent new characters to ensure DC or Marvel's commercial continuance, I really don't know what to say that wouldn't end in a slur. Oh, but if we make new characters, no one will buy them. Neat! So nothing'll change. Bande dessinée, the mainland European comic industry I previously made a video introduction to, does indeed have popular recurring characters. In a French comic industry worth over $500 million in annual sales, 1 in 4 books sold last year in Europe was an Asterix comic. But the plurality of the industry is still standalone, sometimes continuing original comic adventures featuring all new characters, and those books account for over 50% of the entire BD industry, as France has always had a voracious appetite for manga. Would murdering the multiverse and authoring original adventures with all new characters, as manga and BD have done for decades, kill the comic industry? Put it this way. In 2020, the first full year of the Pinko Pox, Bande Dessinée posted a record profit of $630 million, while domestically produced original BD adventures enjoyed a year-over-year sales spike of nearly 50%. I think you'll be fine without multiverses or spandex onesies with dodgeball texturing and way too many fucking seams. Granted, a multiverse-adjacent premise was the least of Quantumania's issues. A once-over of the synopsis reveals a plot more convoluted than 7 seasons of fucking Lost, and oddly enough, both involve Evangeline Lilly. Point being, long before fucking off to the quantum realm, this shit had more blemishes than Lizzo's pitted marble ass. Hell, it was written by a Rick and Morty writer, and it feels like it, which mightn't be so bad if it weren't all rendered into a trim 2 fucking hours of runtime. How the hell is it that the self-same censorious Disney, who's devoted decades to painstakingly carving their creators' commie-crushing proclivities from the historical record, has spontaneously forgotten what a fucking editing console is? If you're having trouble with the concept of editing, Disney, I have a helpful suggestion. Just pretend the second hour of a Marvel film is a black guy on a Chinese movie poster. I'm Razor Fist. God fucking speed.
And I bought this ant marble at a little oddity shop, and I think that all the success of these movies really is because of my magic marble.
You keep talking, I'm gonna take your head off.